this one is really bad, and I think a lot of social media managers are also making the same mistake I made. So let me just state it out there. Today I'm going to be talking about the mistakes I made as a newbie social media manager. Trust me, it's going to be a turn if I say I want to start talking about all the mistakes I have made throughout my journey as a social media manager, throughout this 5 years journey as a social media manager. But I'm going to talk about five ones that were like a major highlight for me as a social media manager, and I believe should help you guys also in your journey. So let's start. You need 4 things right now before we start. Number 1, you need to like. Number 2, you need to subscribe. Then number 3, you need to get yourself popcorn and drink, because this gist is going to be hot. The very first mistake I made as a newbie social media manager was a typo on a big client account. Guys, it was not funny. So here's the gist, right? I used to work with a digital media agency, and during my tenure there, we used to have this work outside work. We call it work outside work. So we go out to cover our clients' events when they're having like events and all that. So we cover it digitally, right? And I was assigned to manage the Twitter thread for that particular event, right? Twitter trend, not thread, but trend. Because I was a newbie social media manager yet, I was not super familiar with all the terms and definitions that come with social media management. So I was managing this client's account here, and I was like, blah 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 blah. I cannot even remember what I wrote about, but I remember this part. I said, so you would you would get more information in the Twitter trend. Guys, immediately I saw it, I deleted the account, I deleted the thread. But now, the way Twitter trolls are. Some people had screenshotted it, and this brand is not like this. It's not a startup. It's a very big brand, and it's not the kind of brand that you would make an error and they would overlook. It's the kind of brand that you will make an error and people are going to pick on you. You understand? Like that kind of brand. They came for me, guys. Like they were now picking up the error and using it to make different kind of things, but man, it was not funny at all. However, we're able to delete the thread and pick up different other stories that people have posted online to make it more flexible. I reposted the thread and I corrected my error where I wrote trend as thread, but of course the error had already gone forth. So for my first mistake, I would like to advise social media managers that are coming up, please, number 1, get informed on the social media managing terms and definitions, or social media terms and definitions. There are tons. It is not Twitter trend, number 1. It is Twitter thread. That was the first one I knew. And I started doing my research. So always research whatever field you are on. Get to know social media trends and definitions. Number 2, use tools that could help you easily detect typos. I use Grammarly, I use WordTunes to help me refine my words and then to help me pick out mistakes I have made. I also use Hemingway editor to make sure that the content I write are easy to read and understand. But then aside from that, before I post it, I always read the content I'm writing aloud. I think reading aloud actually helps you pick up some errors that you have made and you are not able to detect on time. Once I finish doing all this reading aloud, I always have somebody that helps me read whatever it is that I push out, so that in case there are any errors, I am having somebody as a double checking person to check out for errors and all that. If you don't have anyone to help you out, then go back to the post whenever you finish posting, read it. If you detect an error, I beg, delete them. Do you understand? Okay, so the second mistake I made as a social media manager was I worked with a very overbearing client for a very low fee. So this was what happened. Yeah, he gave me a brief to write content for a particular publication, and I had done it, but it took me, because we're using this time tracker. It was an Upwork client, by the way, so I was using this time tracker to track the time that I worked online, and the time was way more than he expected. So say he was expecting that I would use less than an hour, and I used like 2-3 hours to research and then draft up the content, right? So I had done my work, I sent it to him, it was done, he had approved, but then he checked the time and saw that the time was a long one, and I don't understand. Maybe because the money was way more than he expected. Guys, let me tell you what this man did. He paused my contract. So I couldn't sleep at all. I was super scared, I was super worried, I didn't know what to do. I sent him a message, and then he was like, why would you charge me this amount of fee, blah 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 blah, and all that. And I'm like, oh, it's not like that. What you should have done is reach out to me. I charged you this amount of fee because of the amount of time I worked while working on this project. If you checked the screenshots that were sent at intervals, you would see that I was on your project all through, right? However, if you want us to come to an agreement, just let me know so that the contract can be done with. And that was how it went though. So he was like, okay, so let's have a fixed price. How much do you think you can collect for this? And then we negotiated anyways, and he paid me my money. But I learned something that day. I learned this, that if I don't have my proper structure in place, I might not be able to get a good result out of it. Now, when working as a freelance manager, don't charge per hour, because the time it takes to actually do your research, to do your copies, to create your content for your content calendar and several other things is very long, right? So instead of charging for instead of charging per hour for social media management, just charge a fixed price. Anyways, let's move on. The third mistake I made as a social media manager was that I focused so much on my clients that I didn't set goals for my own personal marketing. It was really difficult because, you have to develop content, you have to draft out content and do so many things as a social media manager, right? So if you don't have like the proper structuring in place, it might actually affect you. You understand? Once you are coming up with ideas, you don't even have any metrics to track with, you don't even have anything. So you don't even know if you are doing well, you don't know if you are doing good, you don't know if you are doing bad, you don't know how your performance is going. It really affected me anyways as a social media manager, and I kind of decided to work towards improving myself. So I took time off from freelancing and focused on developing myself. I set goals. So here are some questions that I asked myself. Number one was, what exactly do I want to achieve as a social media manager? Who are the people that I'm trying to attract to my profile? What do I want my audience to do after they consume my content? Do I want them to visit the website? Do I want them to leave a comment? Do I want them to like, subscribe to my channel? Do you understand? And when do I want it to be? Remember, whenever you are setting goals, you have to make sure that your goals are smart, right? So I did that, and I noticed that because I had this structure, right, that this is probably, I'm going to do like a different video for this because it's going to take a long time discussing this. So maybe I'll do the next video talking about the structure, how I plan out my year, right? So anyways, that's how it went. And then I found out that it was getting easier because I had a timeline and I had like this particular plans that I'm going to do. So it was easier to plan myself out for the week to achieving these goals slowly. So say I have this big goal, then I have smaller goals and then the smaller, and another one that is smaller than the smaller goals to achieve that big goal. And it's been helping me move closer to the big goal that I have been gunning for, and it's going really well now. So guys, aside from having to work with developing strategies for your clients, working with your clients and all that, think about yourself as well. If you are a freelance manager, you should know that freelancing is you being a business owner on your own as well. So you have to think about developing a proper structure for yourself so that even when you are not there, your business keeps growing, and that is where you should be seeing yourself going to moving forward. The fourth mistake I made as a social media manager was that I did not have a clear content creation process, guys. So today in the morning, I want to post for the client. I will research the content that same day. I will create the graphics design that same day. I will also post that same day. I will engage that same day. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, say I'm managing 5 clients, I'm doing that for 5 different people. So I get tired and worn out before it's 5, right? And at the end of the week, I'm totally burnt out because I don't even know what to post. I don't know what to do. You understand? What helped me was I was able to develop content pillars. I did a little research. I found out about content calendars, developing content calendars, batching out your content as a whole, scheduling your content ahead, developing content pillars. So I started working with that, and it actually helped me. It helped me become more productive at work, and it also helped me save a lot of time. So I had time to watch movies at work sometimes during the week. Once I finish the whole management of clients' work and all that, because I've scheduled my content ahead. I mean, I can flex. So my fourth mistake as a social media manager, guys, this one is really bad, and I think a lot of social media managers are also making the same mistake I made. So let me just state it out there. I did not have a portfolio for my work. I didn't, guys. I was not documenting the series of work I did when starting out as a social media manager. And trust me, I regretted that action till date, right? Because at the end of the day, when people ask for the list of works I did, I had to start racking my head for which one have I done for this client? What did I do for this client? You cannot even run back to the client to ask for a review, because especially if your relationship is not that close, right? You have to probably drop it or find some of the ones that you could run to for reviews and all that, and it's really bad. So moving forward, this was what I did. I tried to document all my jobs as a social media manager, right? My past projects I recorded in case study format. I have a template for case studies. I have a template for portfolio. Anyways, let me even just you guys. So I have this template shop now where I developed all the templates I have developed as a social media manager. The portfolio, the case study, everything is available in my shop. So you could click the link here to the link. I'll also add it in the comment section, so you could click on it and it will take you to the template shop where you could get your content calendar and whatever it is that you are doing. If you are on the social media support group, there is a discount for you. So we'll discuss that on the group. If you watch this video, just type in the social media support group, where is my discount, and I'll get back to you, right? So anyways, I moving forward, like I said, I had like a case study template where I talked about the case studies. I got the reviews from clients immediately I finished working with them. So I had like this documentation, and it was easy for me to save my best work into an online portfolio, pick out the best work, save it into an online portfolio, and have a list of the works I have done in case study format in my case study. The fifth mistake I made as a social media manager was I did not have an identity online as a social media manager. So I was like, my face was not what people were looking for, and if you want to work with me, my work should be able to speak for me, yeah? But I found out moving forward that in social media management, when people want to know you, they will ask for links to your social media handle. And if you send them your personal social media handle, it has nothing that is tying you back to being a social media manager, so you're on your own, right? So I usually advise that you build a brand for yourself so that you can have an identity to reinvent yourself as a social media manager. Concluding this gist, I just want to tell you guys that starting a career, whatsoever it is, whether it's social media marketing or whatever, as a creative in the creative industry, even as an entrepreneur, it's not an easy task. You learn as you grow, but you having a proper strategy in place will actually help you reach your goal faster, easier, and you to grow a successful business. Always have it at the back of your mind. If you're a freelance manager, you are a business owner. If you are a 9-to-5 professional, you are also a business owner, or you are managing somebody's business. So always have that at the back of your mind and try to grow yourself as a brand, right? So that's that about the mistakes I made as a social media manager. I would like to hear the mistakes you made as a social media manager in the comment section. So that's that about that. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I am so grateful to have you guys in the channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next Friday.